Oh! Hello, my dear viewers. Welcome to another episode. Ride this diet with me quickly, my friend. For breakfast, 2 coffees, 3 fried eggs. Explained where simple example. Eat more than 1 piece of fried onion sandwiches, 5 omelets, 3 French toasts, 3 chocolate chip pancakes, and a Ceta plate. And for lunch, half a kilo of pasta. And 2 lunch, half a kilo of pasta. And 2 large sandwiches. Off meat, cheese, and mayo in white bread. Energy drinks of around 1,000 calories. And for dinner, another half a kilo of pasta, a pizza, and energy drinks. And eat them all till you reach the target. Mind that your daily calorie target is 12,000 calories, my friend. Weren't they 2,000 calories for men, bro? That's why it's crucial to divide them into 4,000 per meal. You'll have 4,000 for breakfast, 4,000 for lunch, and 4,000 for dinner. You seem to be confused, bro, but the one you're talking about is buff bald, named Mamdo and won Mr. Olympia. Not me. I'm not Big Ramy. That's a diet to get bigger, not lose weight, bro. My friend, we're still talking about healthy food, and what I just told you is the daily diet of Michael Phelps, the American legend swimmer in 2008 Olympics. Michael had to take 12,000 calories per day to swim for 5 hours daily, with a rate of 80 teams of swimming per week. Michael, in the 2008 championship, garnered 8 gold medals and had an Olympian total of 12 medals. If you tried this diet, then jumped in the sea, you'll swim well. You look more like a seal than Michael Phelps, but it'll work. If you don't like it, let's try another diet, whose champion is Angus Barbieri. He was a champion of hunger, a Scottish young man with a weight of 207 in 1965, and simply decided to stop eating completely. He'll completely fast until he loses weight, or dies. This was his idea, and the doctors didn't stop him. The strange thing is that he succeeded and committed to it. He actually fasted for a year and 17 days, with nothing but 0 calorie drinks. That's besides the vitamins, medicines, and hospital checkups. You won't believe how much weight he lost. He lost 125. Since then, and the idea of water, only fasting has chased doctors like loose dogs. Before you get excited for this idea, let me tell you that this man's condition was rare, and there are many people who died when they tried this method. Like Sarah Jacob! Aye, Keika. Ha! The Welsh fasting girl! Sarah stopped eating in October 1867. At that time, people thought she was a witch, or someone with special powers, or a hoax. Doctors and nurses were watching her day and night to see if she eats in private. Instead of helping her, they kept arguing over what her issue is. Her parents gave up on her and prevented people from feeding her to respect her wishes, until the girl died in December 1869. That's the normal ending for someone who doesn't eat. The rest of the story is harsh, as her parents were convicted in third-degree murder. Their daughter died, and they're both in prison. Sarah Jacob and her family were in the wrong. Don't be like them. My female friend, even if your wedding is in 5 days, and my male friend has his belly popping from the suit like a third wheel in the suit, like a third wheel in the ceremony. Anyway, I know you neither want to be an Olympic hero or to die of hunger. You just want to finish Ramadan without gaining weight, to zip up your pants without the zipper popping. How can I have all Ramadan to fast and still gain weight? I'll tell you, my friend. Give me a second. I'll be back. Give me a second. I'll be back. In a study for a U San Diego team in 2017, in the annual reviews of nutrition under the title Metabolic Effects of Intermittent Fasting, researchers depended on 2 studies on Ramadan's fasting, one in 2012 and the other in 2013. The first one was a collection of 35 studies about weight changes in Ramadan, and the result was 60 of participants lost weight, with an average rate of 1.24. Good news? But something happened. The weight was regained with average rate of 0.7 during the 2 weeks right after Ramadan. This happened in checkup researches. In a nutshell, the study concluded that people lose weight in Ramadan, but they gradually gain back weight soon after. Ed and cack. The second one, done in 2013, on 30 studies on biomarkers change. Its result says that Ramadan fasting decreased sugar level for fasting people. It also increases the useful cholesterol. Not all cholesterol is bad, especially with women. It also decreased triglycerides for men, and decreased the hemoglobin index by half a degree, another type of sugar. This is proof of long-term improvement in controlling blood sugar levels, which is called glycemic control. Of course, my friend, These are all positive health effects. That's besides losing weight, which we all like. We don't care much about cholesterol or sugar or anything. The only thing that matters is fitting into the dress. Researchers confirmed that Ramadan's fasting is the most common type of time. Restricted feeding, which is a type of intermittent fasting. The rest of the research on other types of fasting, it collected 16 types of fasting made between 1998 and 2016. And the results were losing weight with 11 of them, with other positive changes, like decrease of blood sugar levels and insulin, and other useful things, but with unclear and indecisive results. With a fair amount of confidence, we can say that Ramadan fasting will make you lose weight. One would ask me what the problem is. Oh! The problem, my friend, is that these studies weren't done on people like you or me. The Ramadan studies are all observational studies that aren't designed or adjusted, but people are just fasting and researchers are observing weights and biomarkers. This negatively affects the strength of these studies. Because we aren't controlling anything in order to see its direct effect. We're just observing results. Let us say with utter confidence that it's hard to gain weight when fasting and it's more likely to lose weight. That's according to science's latest findings. Tell us according to science, bro. How weird! Science find it and I didn't. Why is the scale reading 5 extra kilos? That's all for eating all the new weird desserts and exploring all dessert options. There are 2 ways to answer this question. An easy way and a complicated way. Tell us the easy way only, bro. No, I'll tell you both. The easy one is that you simply eat more than you burn. The weight equation never changes with or without fasting. A side of it represents the consumption, and the other is metabolism, which is the calorie burn. It's a simple equation we said before. If you ate more than your metabolism rate, you'll gain weight fasting or not. On keto or not. On keto or not. It has nothing to do with these factors. We consume calories in Ramadan more than normal, and more than our activity and movement, and more than what science can comprehend. That's where a caloric surplus happens. You got fat, my dear viewer. It's more complex than this. If it wasn't complex, we wouldn't have made an episode on it. First, we need to understand how intermittent fasting works and how our bodies deal with it. According to available studies, there are suggestions for physiological bases for intermittent fasting. Among them are things we talked about like the keto and fasting episodes when we said it can push the body into a ketosis state when the body fails to find carbs, starch, or sugar. So it turns to the fats stored in the body and breaks them down. I can't find this, so I'll work with what I have inside. It extracts from this process a new energy carrier instead of glucose called the ketone bodies. This is expected to happen in any case of extreme decrease in consumption, especially in carbohydrates. There's another aspect to explain how our weight decreases with intermittent fasting, which is breaking the adaptation cycle. When we deprive our bodies from food, like any type of diet, the body adjusts the calories to low rates, and at first you lose weight thanks to the solid equation of metabolism being more than consumption. So your body finds a way to get energy and burns what it has, whether fat or muscles. But after a certain point, the body gives up on burning itself, and that's when the metabolism rates decrease and the body adapts to the diet. Then apparently, this is how it's gonna be from now on. So as a body, I'll adapt to it and work with what I got. That's why people stop losing weight at a certain point, although the diet is steady and the food is still little. That's when the advantage of intermittent fasting kicks in, where your body won't get used to it, so it won't get adapted. Deprive for a day and free, eat the other. Sometimes both in the same day. How crazy of you playing games with your body. Intermittent fasting has 3 main types. A day on and a day off, where you eat free for a day and the next day you eat only 25s of the calories you need, like 400 or 500 calories on the fasting day, usually consumed in one meal. The second type is the full day fasting, like the previous one, but for a day or 2 per week, a complete fasting, and you eat freely in the rest of 5 or 6 days. The third type is the time. Restricted feeding like Ramadan. You eat normally in specific time of the day, and do the same every day, and do the same every day. That's all. Mostly the time. Restricted one included 7 or 8 hours of eating per day, for example, from Adem to Fortman. That's it. You can't eat anything till the next morning. Intermittent fasting is a diet and health improvement system. So you drink water normally because it's not religious fasting. You can also add any 0-calorie drinks like black coffee and tea, and any drink that you're sure it has 0 calories. In this system, You eat freely during the eating times, ad libitum, which is a known expression in the intermittent fasting studies, where you eat up to your need and desire. And that's one of the problems. If you're on intermittent fasting and during eating times you eat in a normal rate, that's great. Go ahead. But if you're on intermittent fasting and eat vengefully, that's not okay. One might say, bro, if I kept fighting my hunger the day before, I'll be vengeful the next day. Not even the mightiest bump into Conte Cristo. What? Firstly, he's called Contamonte. Cristo. What did you just say? Secondly, there's a difference between overcoming hunger and being extra. When someone is on a diet and comes home to pizza, duck, meshi, rice, cheesecake, kunafa with mango, and kunafar with red velvet, cake, gâteau, mille-feuille and all. What would that indicate? Oh, mille-feuille and all. What would that indicate? First, it would indicate filthy richness. And second, a very weird taste. All these things don't work together. But here, our friend will snap into a state of binge eating. Let me tell you that scientific research. And notice this. Denies that this happens. In a 2017, published under the American JAMA Internal Medicine with the title of Effect of Alternate Day Fasting on Weight Loss, Weight Maintenance, and Cardioprotection among Metabolically Healthy, Obese Adults. That's just the name of the study. The researchers from University of Illinois constructed a randomized controlled trial, which is one of the strongest kinds of studies. They divided their obese subjects with a simple method into two groups. One of them commits to a normal diet where they decrease their consumption by 25 by consuming 1,500 calories instead of 2,000 daily. The other group commits to alternate, day intermittent fasting, where they eat 25 of calories. Where they eat 25 of calories. On the fasting day, around 500 calories. And the next day, they eat 125, like 2,500 calories. A day, 500 calories. And then a 2,500 calories. And another 2,500 calories. What does it all mean? Bro, how can someone wanting to lose weight consume in a day more than normal by 1.25? Fafis, my friend, if you calculate it, it equates 2 days in the first one. You consume 1,500 in each, with a total of 3,000. And 2 days in the second one, you consume 500 plus 2,500, with total of 3,000. A total of 3,000. Researchers wanted to see which system would have better results, and people would want to continue doing it. Two approaches of the same idea. Actually, results weren't different between both methods. Both groups lost weight without one over, scoring the other, but there were two observations. First, that withdrawal rates from the experiment was higher in the fasting group. 30? 80 of them got bored and left. Really, bro? The day that I fast, and then eat 125 of what I need, people didn't like that. Of what I need, people didn't like that? Mostly, yes. On the other hand, the people who decreased their calorie consumption, only 29 of them withdrew. The second observation is that the 25 group couldn't stick to only 25. On the day they fasted, they always ate more. So in the second day, they didn't eat the big portion. They couldn't consume the entire 125. They couldn't consume the entire 125. The experiment says that the alternate day intermittent fasting has the same weight loss. Advantages like any normal diet, just decreasing the calories, and it could be just harder to tolerate, not for all people too. Some people could have a method comforting psychologically more than another, but the important thing here is that it doesn't cause hunger in the following day. Contrary to what people believe, that if I didn't eat today, I'll eat vengefully tomorrow. It's not necessarily that way. One would tell, "Me, please, bro, answer me. Why am I always hungry in Ramadan and eat like a horse from dusk till dawn?" That's an important part of the answer to our question. Why some people gain weight in Ramadan. The other factors in the equation that we talked about at first, among them were psychological and behavioral factors. My dear lovely viewer, have you heard of something called Al Areca? It's a mix between ghee, flour, and honey with dates on top, and sometimes dates and bananas. Nutella kaita, F, mango kunafa, alabaya with lotus sauce. Sayabi Zainab with all the above. Tell us what you want to say, bro. You got me hungry already. I honestly forgot what I want to say. I started the chain reaction and watched. Yes. I remember. I want to say that we, as Arabs, have no chill in desserts. We have to put something on top of something inside something. Or put something in something and sprinkle something. And when it comes out, sugar. balanced. We add something and sprinkle something. So when Ramadan comes when we get anxious over hunger, our creative skills rise in creating nuclear bombs of calories. That's uncounted for in all the Western studies and experiments. The West doesn't know what happens in Tortina or Kuwaina or no clue. Anyway, fasting made people throughout history explore or create dishes that help fasting. Your brain would nag all day for sugar. I need sugar, and you're an experienced viewer and know from Eldahi that when the body is sure, you won't give it any. It would stop saying it has none when it has none when it has some stored, and that the blood sugar level won't be less than normal, at least as long as you eat at the end of the day and recharge. The worst scenario is that you'd be groggy for 5 minutes if you exerted a lot of effort, especially at the end of the day if your sour wasn't enough. Grogginess? That may lead to momentary passing out, but your body would reset back to normal in a few minutes. You'll regain your energy and can continue your fasting. That's only if you don't have diabetes nor take in insulin or medicines. That's another dangerous scenario. If you saw old episodes, you'd remember that hunger is related to ghrelin hormone, which is like you, copies and pastes. Bro, I don't know how to copy. And, like me, neither this nor that. At the usual breakfast time, ghrelin tells you that you're hungry. It's used to that. If you ignored it, the hunger feeling would go away and reset itself on the new timing. That's why you can wake up in the morning, not hungry. You're not used to eating early. But once you eat, you're hungry after. You'd find yourself hungry often. It's normal that the brain invents kunafar, basbousa, kata, and zalabaya. Gets creative with sugar, and necessity is the mother of invention. Your brain would keep telling you that it's thirsty. So, drinks take up more space in your stomach. Hibiscus tamarind, sobia carob, and quimoil. That your mom makes you think it's mango before iftar. And licorice drink for self-torture people. Then we see box juice and soda. You had all that. To the table. And not remove one thing. That's besides quimoil. Dine and dried apricots. And they're tied to Ramadan. This invention was because eating them at night decreased thirst in the morning. When science progressed, we found out that this was due to potassium in them. Take it as a rule. Thirst isn't just related to the amount of water and liquids. Don't keep chugging water before it fades you like a camel. You're not a camel. Thirst is also related to sodium and potassium inside food like pizza. Fast food meals, canned tuna, these will make you thirsty all day. Canned tuna, these will make you thirsty all day. But when potassium increases, your thirst decreases. Like eating apricot, banana, mandarin, and coconut water. Isn't that a sobia component, bro? My friend, I'll tell you a fact. In order to keep up with your body's hydration, one of the easiest ways is the color of urine. The lighter it is, the safer you are. If you found it bright golden, then you'll dehydrate and need water. Never mind the frequency of going to the bathroom, because caffeine can drive the intestines crazy for no reason. Now to the eating times and how they work, it's understandable that you're hungry and thirsty at iftar. But it's not understandable to start with koshef, which is dates mixed with dried fruits that are dipped in water with sugar or quimoil in juice. We're talking about 500 or 600 calories at least. And you as a male only have 2,000 calories at budget. My friend, you didn't start eating yet. The show's credits aren't up yet. There's still drinks, main course, desserts, and snacks after dessert. In the kushaf moment, you consume 25 of your calorie need in the first 2 minutes. Now, to the main meal, only have 75 left. That's until dawn, not just this meal. There's a problem in how we make our food, the cooking methods we use. Researchers in the National Institute of Mental Health, that's under the American Department of Health, made an experiment for a month and divided people to 2 groups. A group that ate ultra-processed food, and the other group was served raw food. The first group would eat creamy white cheese with slices of turkey and bagels. The other group ate a dish with banana cut, walnut on top, and skim milk. That's hospital food, bro. Yes, true. Both meals, they're processed and raw. They're the same amount of calories. Sugar, starch, fibers, and fats. Eat all you like till you're full. The results published in 2019 were very entertaining. The processed food group ate 500 extra calories each day, and the extra was from carbs and fats. They also noticed that they ate faster, and their weights increased by average of 2 pounds in 28 days. Around 1 kilo per month. That's the American cuisine. There's still newbies in cooking. Still newbies in cooking. Egypt sits on the top of that mountain. We eat sheep's tail. Fat! Americans don't have a potato dish with tail fat, or zucchini with bechamel, or stuffed grape leaves with grilled ribs or tarb. If you don't know, is a nice but sadistic invention. One of our ancestors got minced meat, and that wasn't enough. So he shaped into kufta fingers and added fat and tail fat, but still didn't feel enough. So he got the fatty wrap of the sheep's stomach and wrapped the kufta fingers in it. Oh, just that. He put it in bread and put tahina over it. Cholesterol. All what I explained were simple examples of our food. This method of cooking makes you chew less and eat faster, and consume a lot, and not leave the table until the stomach alarms you that it can't take it anymore. Keep in mind that you're not full. You reached over. Fill and glut. You're past being full. After that, you need dessert. Some websites calculate the calories in a piece of kunafa between 160 and 650 calories. That's the plain kuna 50 calories. That's the plain kunafa of the old people, the good ones. We don't need to talk about the kunafa with lotus or Nutella or peanut butter and how many calories they would be. You mostly eat more than one piece of more than one dessert type. It's enough to tell you that some cheesecake pieces can reach up to 1,500 calories, and you only have 2,000. If you ate kushaf with one cheesecake, you're done for the day. Don't go back and say you're fasting, and that this is intermittent fasting. No, my friend, you're getting it wrong. Actually, that's all not your fault. There are other factors and numbers in the equation answering our question, why do we gain weight in Ramadan? One of these important factors is sleeping. In Ramadan, and especially summertime, and during the short days, two things happen. Lack of sleep and disturbance of its schedule. Or for scientific accuracy, biological clock disruption. Regarding sleeping, the American Center for Disease Control, CDC, advises the adult from ages 18 to 60 to sleep 7 hours, minimum, every night. Some researchers show relation between lack of sleep and weight gain. You know that a relation doesn't necessarily mean a cause. The meaning of relation in science is that it's seen by repeating experiments, that two phenomena happen together, but there's no proof that one of them causes the other. Because you never know, maybe the person with less sleep is someone who's working a lot without time to cook and get healthy. Food, so he gets junk food, and that's why he gains weight. Yeah, the lack of sleep isn't the reason, but it's the lifestyle. Also, many research prove nighttime eating after 7 or 8 p.m. is related to lack of sleep and poor quality. That who eats and sleeps right away wouldn't be satisfied with his sleep. These are things that can contribute on the long term to have diabetes or obesity and other diseases. It's the long term, not after a month. Please be careful. Control yourself on the table in Ramadan. Other studies focused on the role of intermittent fasting in adjusting the circadian rhythm. But that's when you stop eating early. To eat in the morning and fast at night more than 14 hours. That's impossible in Ramadan, especially that the following day is fasting. You have a feeling that you need to eat vengefully. The following day is considered hunger and the last meal for a long while. And we'd have left some studies that talked about intermittent fasting adjusting the balance of useful microbiota and to balance them with the circadian rhythm. Sleep, wakefulness, and eating less at night. Wakefulness and eating less at night. All of that can improve the biomarkers and decrease the probability of having chronic diseases. At the end, my friend, Ramadan still needs further studies that would take into account its special social and psychological conditions, because it's not just the type of intermittent fasting, but special type of special conditions. In Ramadan or any other time, remember that the equation is simple. Balance between eating and burning, no matter what you did. If you ate too much, you lose control. Remember that health is the main concern. After that comes the dresses and the dance. And these things, not at the end. Don't forget to watch the old episodes, the new ones, look at the sources, and subscribe if you're on YouTube. Don't watch too much episodes, my friend. Why, bro, you know? Because they're too sweet. Among the things that studies need to keep in mind about Ramadan is the after. Banquet phenomenon. Last Ramadan, my friend, I was eating the leftovers of a banquet in 1994. The food I ate was older than me. It was the first time I see gray-haired rice. I now call for the mothers. cook food enough for the banquet and that's it. Then get new food to get acquainted with and start new life with it. But why am I eating food from the 90s? Why am I eating food from the 90s? Why am I eating retired Rukak for 2 weeks? Let's try new things. Diabetes, we got a call. Who ate this stuff? If you went to Osing, you'll find this traditional southern dish. That the present to tourists. And in other places like Sauda, Rajul, Almaya, Tanama, and Kamas Mushe. Never mind Al. Okay, my friend. Do you know Al Karnak? Which one, bro? The Naguib Mahfouz one or Mohammed El Ezabi? Naguib Mahfouz. Would you know Al? Karnak? Yeah. Karnak's bomb dessert in Seta Zainab. It has all sweet things, like fruit salad, mango juice, a piece of bisposa on top with a scoop of ice, cream! And if the guy there likes you, he'll throw in a piece of kunafa. That's other than quashta. Nuts. And honey. Diabetes! Are you crazy? Will you be happy if I take you down now? Never mind the bomb. Do you know the Nabulsi kunafa? A Levant mix of kunafa, cheese, and honey.